Okay, people, this is a piece for everybody, but especially for a young man named Dagan that I met in Louisiana. Okay, come on, people. This is the bottom line. How do you make decisions? The Bible is a life business book that you get advice and guidance from. Your heaviest business is dealing with the afterlife and the invisible spirit realm. There are powers in the spirit realm that are messing with humans, and you need to know about them. The Bible is the accounts of a helpful spirit who loves human beings. The helpful spirit making three heavy events in human history. Three events. Event one is setting free slaves who were in slavery for 400 years. We're talking about 3 to 12 million people. In the writings, it says it was 600,000 men of warrior age plus all their family. So each man has got at least 3 to 5 to 8 people around them. 3 to 12 million people got out of slavery with no war, and they walked across a body of water and stayed alive in a desert for 40 years. It sounds insane, but that's event number one. Event number two is the sending of a supernatural human visitor to the human family. That's Jesus of Nazareth, the Messiah, the supernatural one, who can heal anybody and has supernatural powers to do anything, control weather, walk on water. Event three, the sending of a helper, supernatural spirit to access all humans. Jesus says, it's better that I go away, because if I go away, then I can send my spirit to all people. There are other events. The 5 big shows is a teaching that I do. Flood and creation, etc. So you got Pentecost, Jesus, Exodus, flood, creation. All right, so the Bible is the accounts of a helpful spirit making 3 events. Bam, freeing millions of slaves. Bam, bringing a supernatural visitor who then sends supernatural powers, just like his. All right, then, the heaviest proof that Bible information is from wisdom beyond this life, the heaviest proof that this is amazing stuff and valuable stuff is the Messiah predictions and the Messiah accounts, fulfilled predictions. In the Hebrew scriptures, there's 200 to 300 individual predictions that all came true. And the rumor of Jesus resurrecting from the dead. If he didn't resurrect from the dead, who the heck cares? So what? But if he did come back from the dead, we better find out what he was actually teaching. Okay, so how do you get guidance from the Spirit to keep you safe and successful and to have a good life? How do you get guidance? Nobody ever taught me about this. Nobody in Christianity taught me how to talk to God and what the safe environment to listen to God in. Okay, there's 3 parts to the Bible. There's the predictions and preparations for a supernatural visitor. There's the life and teachings of the supernatural visitor. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is the story of his life. And then the 3rd part is for us. From Acts to Revelation is the first people to get his supernatural powers. Okay, so let's focus in on the accounts of direct guidance in Acts chapter 13 and Acts chapter 15. These guys are there and they're like, well, it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us both to not put any more stress on the Gentile people than this. And also, I have a little piece called The Red Letters in the Book of Acts. Every single place where ordinary human, commercial fishermen, ordinary people are being talked to by God and angels. It's freaky. It's amazing. Okay, next, focus in on how the first people got their guidance. How do we gather and purify ourselves to get the best guidance for our lives? Next, focus on strange supernatural events which should be your inspiration for a new normal. Okay, there's a whole list of supernatural events. I like to head straight for the Transfiguration, and for the day of Pentecost with the flames that came in the room. Okay, number 10, study how humans are tricked into being self-destructive, hurting themselves, and tricked into hurting others. Study that. Okay, people are hurting children. People are hurting marriages. People are hurting their families. People are hurting their own success. And people are hurting their own future peace and unity. It's painful. We need to learn how to not hurt ourselves and our people. Okay, I'm not doing this right now, but I'm going to present you with 5 issues of tricks and deceptions that are right from the scriptures. Now let's explain the objective. A Holy of Holies, a gathering of at least 2 or 3 family men and all their people, and all the single like Jesus people and children, a whole bunch of people stuffed into a house. Men who declare and admit and celebrate their personal craziness and weaknesses and faults, admitting their bad spirits, telling the closed family group, okay, here's where I go crazy and here's where I had problems this week, and then everybody else follows suit. We are all suffering because we do not have this Holy Spirit gathering. Now explain how each one of our lives would have been different with this guidance protection. Okay, and then, my friend, we have had no guidance like they had for the first 300 years in Christianity in their homes. You had no guidance or protection or safety around you when you made those life decisions of yours that actually ended up hurting you and hurting other people. This is the beginning, focusing on one young man whose heart was broken and awakened. How do you make decisions? How do you make decisions? My friend, we had no guidance. You had no guidance. Your parents had no guidance and protection and safety around them when your parents made their life decisions. They didn't want to make self-destructive decisions. Nobody does. But we are fixing to team up and help people restore the way of listening and getting decisions and getting guidance. We're restoring the way of getting guidance because the world's going insane and God is allowing us to begin to understand and know and do these things. This is cool stuff.